an appraisal that was less, why we would do that? Well, we can't lower it. I mean, it is, we kept our offer at what it was, but I thought it was kind of funny.
Well, if I pay for appraisal, they're going to appraise it for what I think it's worth, and that's going to be huge.
Well, your appraiser might get in a little trouble for that. So, anyway, I would just wait.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
So they got to do the NEPA and the SEPA both before you come in and get the land.
Correct.
And that's going to take up to a couple of years.
There has to be a relocation plan in place to find out who we are affecting. So relocation might be in contact with the individuals first, so, and that's incorporated into the NEPA.
It's kind of a whole entire project plan. All these documents need to go into order for those environmental, because that's just part of that.
And then it's the city going out into the county, wherever it goes, it's going to be in the county to take this land. And then they're going to try to make it city property.
I don't know anything about that.
But to use eminent domain and use federal dollars, that's all got to be completely planned out before they do any of that.
Well, they should. They should have all the environmental done ahead of time in the reload plan. I mean, it's just that they ask for that because you're following federal regs. You want federal money.
Right.
It's the big thing. You got to follow the federal regs. And you just can't skip a step. You got to just really follow it along. And part of that environmental is they want to know who they're impacting at that site. And we can't go up.
And what happens if the laws change on the eminent domain before, in the middle of this? There was a bill in there last year, but you can't use eminent domain for economic development.
Well, I'm just going to give my speculation editorial that if you want federal money, you better use eminent domain. Because otherwise, how do you have a project? If you want it built, you want money, you have to use eminent domain. Because, like along I-90 right now, if we don't care too much if two neighbors hold out. Okay, maybe the rest of the block says, yeah, we want to sell, they've already moved, and two hold out. What'll happen is, in about 8 years, we'll be circling around again, and then we may have to use eminent domain. Right now, we don't. But we have a long time. We got the north-south corridor. That's, a much bigger project than the airport. So if you have a tight timeline, you're going to have an add date. And that add date means that's when all the right-of-way needs to be cleared, and you're ready to advertise for construction. Okay, so you need to have enough time to put that project together. You need to have enough time so that if you don't like the offer, you have time to go through court. And sometimes the project keeps going on, and your attorney will probably, your fair market, say we offer you $100,000 and you say no, it's worth $2,000, we'll take that $100,000 when that condemnation is filed and we deposit it into the courts. Okay, so that money is always there for you. Anything over and above is what you're going to let a jury of your peers determine. Okay, that project could start construction because they've gotten possession and use, which means, kind of bluntly, we're going to take your property and we're going to fight it out in court how much it's worth. But in the meantime, we're still taking it. So, yeah.
Thank you. This is Rod in Spokane. Has there ever been conversation about widening 395 or high-speed rail or other forms of getting people back and forth, merchandise back and forth, besides the regional airport issue?
I've heard a little bit on 395 in the course of decades, widening it out. I grew up in Charleroi, so I've known that Highway 2 was just 2 lanes for a very long time, and it took you a million years to get to Spokane, it seemed like. I think 395 widening right now is off the table. I don't see anything on my radar for 395.
Nothing pertaining to utilizing the rail line?
I had someone call me not too long ago and they just said it's just honestly not on our radar. I mean, our state is in just such an influx right now with budget. We've been lucky enough to get enough money deposited for the north-south corridor, which, because for so long, as you all know, it just stop, start, stop, start. Now it's actually going, and we're making great headway, so they want that done.
The reason I asked that high speed rail on the way over, I was listening to the newscast about the current administration from Washington saying they're proposing literally tens of billions of dollars for high speed rail. They don't want it to go from coast to coast, they want it to go major corridors, east, north, west, things of that nature.
Which means Seattle.
Yeah, the only thing new on 395 we've been dealing with lately is the new gold line, which is that new little glass line that we'll be putting some shelters together along 395 so people can kind of do their own park and ride type thing. But that's the only thing I've heard.
I'm curious about, you talked about the fair market value. With the economy right now, houses are worth a whole lot less than they might have been a few years ago. It might have been some people are shut down in their housing costs because the value has dropped so significantly in our economy. What do you think about that?
Well, that's where relocation comes into play, because I always like to describe them as kind of bridging the gap, if you will. Fair market value is fair market value. I mean, it's just based on what people, I mean, and right now the market is bad, and people have dropped. It is what it is when it comes to fair market value, because we just can't make up sales. But that's where relocation comes into play. You've got to remember her money's tax-free. That bridges that gap. And that's tax-free money as well. So, can you talk about that at all? Yeah. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully by the time this all comes to full circle, market will pick up. Can't get any worse, right?
Yeah, like property there that's outside the city limit, large parcel, hasn't been anything sold in quite a while in that. How, or you can't find comp within 6 months or a year or 2 years ago from the time you're looking at. How do you deal with that? I mean, you have some guidelines, but what are the guidelines when they don't fit?
Well, and I'm not an appraiser, so I'll just make that disclaimer. They will try to, go out further. Maybe they'll start at a 25-mile radius. They don't find anything that's viable. Maybe they go into a 50-mile radius. And then they just have to make a notation of that in the appraisal. They'll just make notes as, we didn't find anything viable that meets this criteria, so we shot to a bigger scope of where they had to look.
And they have ways to make adjustments for that kind of distance too in the appraisal.
Thank you.